Hey, really testing out the autofocus this morning. Right now I'm filming some other content, hence why I'm using a Zoom recorder as a microphone. But I wanted to share a quick intro into a clip that I'm about to post on here. And the clip itself is from a greater conversation or I should say a longer conversation that I have with my buddy Jake. It's part of our new podcast that we're going to be launching either later this month or next month called Filmmakers Anonymous. In this conversation, we're talking about when you go on vacation, do you take out the camera or do you leave it in the bag? And he offers a few different insights I pull from a personal experience that I had recently, and hopefully you can find it useful and valuable, and let me know what you think. Exit stage left? Right. Exit stage right, I think.
Speaking on vacations, being
I feel like you're looking very deeply into my eyes when you say that.
I mean,
No, it's okay. It's my heart started peaking up a little more.
speaking on vacations, I feel like for us, did you bring any camera equipment?
Of course.
Did you film with it at all or take
little bit.
pictures at all?
A little bit.
I feel like a lot of the time for us, it's always like stepping away from work and taking a vacation, but you always take your work with you a little bit. And that sometimes will make you not want to pull the camera out. Not necessarily because you don't want to capture the moment in the best definition possible, but just because you feel like maybe subconsciously it's work somehow. And I feel like that's something that I deal with too.
No, I agree. I think it takes some time to figure out, and this is maybe a slightly different point, but when to pull out the camera and when not to. When you're with family, when you're with friends, it's like you start thinking to yourself, is this gonna cause me more stress in this environment? Because I'm gonna be like, oh, the lighting isn't good. Oh, the angle isn't good. Oh, I don't have anything in the foregrounds, to make a balanced photo, right? Or a balanced video, whatever it is, right? And it becomes more stressful and you're not actually enjoying yourself. And then you're not living in the moment. So, like you were saying, you booked a vacation, in my instance, to, let's say, San Diego, right? This is a real life example that's just happened. Hence why I'm a little bit sunburned. Okay, hey, let's go to San Diego. I'm going to bring my equipment with me. Overkill it, right? 2 cameras, 2 lenses, all this stuff, right? I probably took out just one of the cameras for about 30 minutes and then put it back. You know why? Because I was sitting there and I started to think about like all the things about like the composition of like the visual I was getting and all those things, and it became stressful. It became to the point where I was like, this is really annoying. Like, I took a vacation, yet I'm not on vacation. I'm stressing out about this. And then let's say, okay, maybe you did like pull together all these good visuals, all that kind of stuff. Then you come back and you start editing it. And then what's the biggest theft of all joy? Comparison, right? So, you come back and now you're like, I got to put together this like amazing highlight video of like my experiences and this, that, and the other. And then you go on YouTube or you go on something like that, right? And then all of a sudden you're sitting there like, oh, all this footage sucks. Oh, I did a terrible job with this, that, and the other, because you're comparing yourself to others. It's just, yeah. So I think it does take time to figure out when to pull out the camera and when not to. And then to your point, do you even want to bring the camera? Maybe this is a trip, where you don't. I mean, what does your wife think like on those trips? Like, is she like, hey, you should film us, all this kind of stuff? Like, what is that?
There was one time where we traveled to Europe and I brought a lot of camera equipment with me, and I quickly realized how much it got in the way, just because I had to involve her with, hey, can you carry this in your backpack? Can you carry that with you? And after that trip, I realized if I'm going to bring equipment, I have to bring it myself, pack it into my backpack, don't involve her. And also, whenever you pull the camera out, maybe you're enjoying a good moment with significant other, or with friends and family, just knowing when to pull that camera out. And sometimes you can make it compact enough, right? So maybe bring just one camera, one lens, one battery. Whatever you get with it, you get with it. I guess it's just more of the situations in itself, and kind of realizing that when I want to be present and when I want to be behind the camera.
Yeah. And to hit on that point that you just brought up too, that just kind of like jogged my memory here too. If, let's say, you do want to work on vacation, right? Maybe you want to get better. Maybe, you had a slow week the week before and you have a little bit more energy and you're excited to go on this vacation and gather all these visuals. It's a really good opportunity for you to challenge yourself while only bringing, okay, I'm only going to bring this lens and this camera, nothing else. Now I have to make something that is a little bit harder to make because I don't have the crutch of all this different equipment, all this different lighting or whatever it is. It's a great way to challenge yourself creatively, right? If you want to level up as a videographer, sometimes instead of leveling up and buying all this stuff, you just stay with what you have and figure out a way to best use it, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what helped me early on is like, I had a GoPro. That's it. I'd strap it to my head. I'd have like the little gimbal thing, right? But I would take it everywhere with me. And I would just, that's what I had. And I would create and learn how to use a camera through using a GoPro about like, okay, what movement makes sense, what this and that and the other. So it was a way to fast track my career with at least learning things, my education. And it wasn't stressful because like, no, it's the other thing I got. Like, it's fine. Embrace it.
Yeah. I feel like those are the moments when you get actually the best angle or the best looking shot is when you don't have that much stuff with you. Those are the times.
Yeah. And you don't make your wife carry your gear.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those people are the worst.